These preludes are such a cool way to establish individual characters, to learn a little about the setting, and then the funeral invitation brings your characters together and gives you an event that is not immediately war, right? I just think the beginning of this adventure is so cool.
A terrible conflict is coming to the world of Krynn, and you are an adventurer caught in its looming darkness, or you will be soon when Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen arrives. Today I am joined by performer and dungeon master Eugenio Vargas, and we're going to talk about where your adventure begins, how Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen brings you into the world and the story, whether you've loved Dragonlance your whole life or are discovering it right now, and get some advice for those who might be getting ready to run this epic adventure. It starts with sad tidings. In Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen, as the game begins, your characters, whoever they are and wherever they've come from, have each received the following letter. Dear friend, I am Becklin Uthviharin. I've heard much about you from our mutual friend, Ispin Greenshield. It grieves me to share the news that our dear friend Ispin passed away peacefully here at his home in Vogler. May fortune and the old gods protect his soul. Ispin's friends are holding a memorial for him in the manner he always wanted. It will take place here in Vogler on the eve of the Kingfisher Festival. I write to ask you to do Ispin one last honor and attend. Should you come, accommodations will be available at the Brass Crab. Though the circumstances are sad, I am eager to meet you and, through our memories, to revel in the life of our great friend. Becklin Uthviharin, Knight of the Crown. Now,
what a start.
I love this. A heartbreaking start to events, Eugenio.
Yeah. It's such a more immediate and personal hook for the characters individually, and then such a good way to then bring them together. But this beginning, this invitation to a mutual friend's funeral tells you so much right off the bat about the setting, about your character, about who they know, that there is going to be some emotional content to this adventure on top of swashbuckling adventure, right? It sort of sets a tone there right for the beginning. I also love this letter because it's an invitation to a funeral, but even the letter's tone has joviality, has joy in it. We're remembering all of the fond things about this friend. You and I are recording this shortly after Dia de Muertos this year, and it just makes me think of that immediately, right? Yes, it is a sad occurrence, but it already tells you that there is joy to be found in this adventure too. And I think that's a great place to start for your characters.
I love that very much because I sort of keyed into the way that it sort of lets us know, there are going to be some stakes, there are going to be some somber moments in this adventure, but that it also is sort of like, but the memories you'll make along the way and the companions around you are going to be key is sort of like exactly the right beginning for this. Full disclosure, this isn't I'm mad I haven't thought of this for my own games kind of thing. I know that they're my coworkers now, so I can just be like, it's weird for me to be like, good job! But like, I love this. I love this as a way, it gives everybody a way in, a potential tie to each other, or a way to interact even if they're strangers, which can be a challenge for a lot of parties, figuring out the how you come together of it all. So I am very, very excited to sort of find out everyone's answer, because everyone who plays this adventure, we all have that same mutual friend. So I want to know, how do you know Ispin? We get a little of his personality of like, he was a big, tall tale teller, he was a raconteur, he was an adventurer, he was a hero, but there's even a table provided that will help you sort of inspire you to how you might connect to that character. So no need on the spot, Eugenio, but if you're playing, how did you know Ispin?
Oh, he absolutely saved my dog. One day there was a, marauding band, and they had no interest in the dog, but the dog really wanted to go with them. And Ispin was there dealing with the marauders and found the dog and brought him back to me and, I saved your dog from the evil. And I said, oh no, he just ran off, but thank you.
that's so him. That's so Ispin. Once you have your characters, and they have their letters, they set off for the funeral and the start of the story, but a few things can happen on the way, because this adventure begins with several optional scenarios, prelude encounters, that introduce key elements and mysteries of the world. You can run one or more of these in any order, either for specific focus characters or your whole group. Eugenio, without giving away anything you might have planned, what are your thoughts on using the preludes in this structure?
I think this is so cool, and I think paired with the funeral invitation, this adventure provides the most assistance and makes it the easiest to get started of any adventure that I've run anyway in 5e. It gives you these preludes, it gives you that linked funeral event, and we all know getting something started, getting a campaign started can be the most awkward part, right? And we meet in a tavern, and we happen to sit at a table together, even though I have never once gone to sit down at a tavern with strangers. Like, that's not a thing I do. But sure, okay, let's start there, right?
That's why you haven't been on more dragon fighting adventures.
Yeah, well, clearly I need to go do that. No, but these preludes are such a cool way to establish individual characters, to learn a little about the setting, and then the funeral invitation brings your characters together and gives you an event that is not immediately war, right? I just think the beginning of this adventure is so cool. So the preludes, there are 3 of them, like you mentioned, and each of them does this really cool job, not only of introducing key details about Krynn and about the Dragonlance setting, but also it gives your players and their characters things to latch on to about why they're adventuring, why they're doing what they're doing, why they are the class that they are. You know, one of them, I don't want to say too much, but like one of them in particular is ideal to run with characters that are, I know I mentioned it again, but divine spellcasters, right? And it tells you a little bit more about what I mentioned, which is that the gods have retreated. One of them gives you information that I already mentioned also about some of the new draconic things that are happening in this war and the creatures that have been created for this war that otherwise would be very cool when you encounter one of them a few sessions in. Oh, we don't know what this is. But if your players know that in advance, that there is a mysterious new creature on the battlefield, but they don't know anything about it yet, that gives them time to simmer on that and feel nervous about that and get immersed in that part of the world. And they're specific enough that if you want to run exactly what's on the page, that will give your players the information that they should be learning about the setting, and you can be on your merry way. But they're also set up in such an excellently open-ended way that if you are a Dragonlance expert, or if you've really dived into what this book teaches us about the setting, and you want to expand these preludes, there is plenty of room for that, for you and your characters to really get into them, give them a little bit more information, learn a little more about who their characters are. That opportunity is right there in these as well.
Thank you for joining us, and stay tuned. Eugenio will join us again in a few weeks, and we'll see some of these ideas in action for a Dragonlance Prelude one-shot right here on D&D Beyond.
Yeah, I'm so very excited about it. I can't wait to see these preludes in particular in action. I think this is a really cool new idea for starting adventures, and I'm excited to see how it plays out.
Eugenio, where can people find you if that is too long to wait?
If that's too long to wait, come check me out. The best place and most central place is on Twitter. I'm at DM Jazzy Hands on Twitter. You can find out about all the different projects I've got going on. I do stream on Twitch. You can come hang out with me there as well, and I've got all kinds of other projects. So I hope to see you around the internet, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks for a little more Dragonlance, it sounds like.
And if you don't want to wait to get a hold of Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen, of course you can pre-order the bundles with the digital and physical versions to get early access starting November 22nd, and the book will be out to the world on December 6th. We'll see you next time on D&D Beyond.